Welcome to Congregation Beth Yeshurun. We're celebrating the Benot Mitzvah of Kaya and Mia this evening, and we're also celebrating Shabbat as the end of the week. And we'll begin our service this evening with Hine Matov. We now invite the mothers of Kaya and Mia, Jamie and Stacy, to come forward and give candlesticks to their daughters. And we invite everyone else to rise as we bless the Sabbath candles.
Our God and God of our ancestors, may the rays of these Shabbat candles cast their glow upon the earth and bring the radiance of your light to all your creatures. Bless our daughters with your love and our homes with the spirit of Shabbat. Amen.
Amen. You may be seated. Now I'll open our prayer books to page 5, the smaller red books in the pews. That's a Sidur Lev Shalem on them. Open them up to page 5. We welcome the Sabbath angels with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei
Shir Ladonai Shir Chadash. Sing to God a new song, page 13. Yismechu Hashemayim, let the heavens rejoice, page 14.
Yismechu Hashemayim
Well, now that we're warmed up and ready to go, we're going to welcome the Sabbath bride, the Sabbath queen, with Lecha Dodi, page 23. Now that we welcome the Sabbath, let's welcome each other. So say Shabbat Shalom to your neighbors. This is great. Everybody's really friendly tonight. Okay, we may be seated. Those who are in mourning, and those observing a yard site will recite the Mourner's Kaddish now on page 30. Yit Kadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah V'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael v'agala uv'zman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam le'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'reichu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiron v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Osei shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. We now do the call to worship, Baruch Hu, on page 39. Please rise.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
be seated again. We continue with a prayer about God's love for us, Ahavat Olam, page 40. Page 41.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha. V'chayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvletecha v'aderet U'shochecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'chayu totofot b'neinecha u'tavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha.
We continue silently in Hebrew or English to the bottom of page 42.
Adonai Elohim, Amen.
Mi chamocha ba'ilim Adonai, who is like you, God amongst the mighty, the song our ancestors sang when they crossed the Red Sea. Mi chamocha, page 44.
He
And now a prayer for helping us to lie down in peace tonight and awaken us again tomorrow to life renewed. Hashkivenu, page 45.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Elchaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Elchaim. Ushmar Tzeiteinu Uvoreinu L'chaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Sometimes I lay under the moon and I thank God I'm breathing. And then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, oh, one day, one day, one day. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Elchaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Elchaim. Ufros alinu Sukkot Shalom Lecha, Baruch atah Adonai Haporech Sukkot Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat. The children of Israel will observe the Sabbath from generation to generation. Page 46.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם.
Please rise for the Chatzi Kaddish in the middle of the page.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמתי ורקירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי כל יום ויום ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולמי עמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה. בריחו לילה מן כל בחטא ושירתה, תשפחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
We now pray the Amidah silently from pages 47 to 52.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam V'Shalom Rav al Kol Yoshvei Tevet Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim V'Shalom Rav al Kol Yoshvei Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam V'Shalom Rav Al Kol Yoshvei Tevel Tasim Le'olam Baruch Atah Adonai HaMevarech et Amo Yisrael Oseh Shalom B'Ramav Oseh Shalom B'Ramav Hu Yaseh Shalom Hu Yaseh Shalom Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down. Oseh Shalom B'Ramav Oseh Shalom B'Ramav Hu Yaseh Shalom Hu Yaseh Shalom Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down.
Now we do a special prayer for those in need of a little extra healing. Misha Berach, it's found on the inside back cover of our prayer books.
May the source of strength, who bless the
You may be seated. We continue with Kaddish Shalem, page 54.
יתקרא ויתקרא שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה קירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכוני ובמכוני בחייך ובית ישראל, הגלה בזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן, יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ועולם מעמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה. בריחו לילה מתקבל חטא ושירתה, תושבחת ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא ויאמרו אמן. תתקבץ לא תהון ובטחו ישראל, הודם אבוני ושמיה ויאמרו אמן. יהי שלום הרבה מצ'מיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן.
Shabbat Shalom. You would think in rabbinical school they would teach us prayers. You'd think so. They do, of a kind. We are required to know weekday prayers, Shabbat prayers, high holiday prayers, Pesach, Shavuot, Sukkot. We definitely spend a lot of time learning the text of prayers. But none of that helped me, not even a little. I was struck silent. When I was doing an internship as a hospital chaplain, I was at the bedside of a patient who was about to go into surgery. And he was scared, he told me, and he felt frustrated at being there, and he was worried for himself and for his family. He needed strength, he said. Rabbi, he asked me, can you pray for me? I racked my brain. I thought of all those prayers I had to learn and I knew so well. What prayers do we have that say all those things that he needed? I couldn't think of the words. I cycled through the Siddur in my mind, the prayers we say every day, the ones we say every week. I was even thinking like Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. I was desperate for something, anything, to tell this man. And nothing came to mind. And as he looked up at me from that bed, expectantly, I felt like I failed him. He needed me to be with him in that moment of fear and frustration and need. As he lay in that hospital bed, he needed words of prayer, and I didn't know any. And I thought, how could I not know the words to say right now? We Jews, we're good at prayer book prayers. The roots of our Siddur go back 1,000 years. And 2,000 years ago, our rabbis formulated all sorts of prayers. There's prayers for giving thanks for food, prayers asking God for forgiveness. There's a prayer you say when you see someone who's really attractive. It's true. It's like Fiddler on the Roof says, you know, there's a blessing for everything. There is. We are a very intellectual, wordy people. We tend to spiritually connect through our brains, maybe more than our hearts, through learning and ritual and books and Torah and Talmud, et cetera, and that's not a bad thing. I personally connect very strongly to Judaism through learning and teaching and arguing our laws and our stories. I love it all. I love our Siddur. I love our prayer book. I love our prayer services. My parents, when I was little, took me and my brother to Shabbat morning services, so the 3-hour one, not this little 1 hour, 3-hour services every Shabbat morning of my life. But I loved it. It's just that sometimes we need something spiritually or emotionally that goes beyond the words on these pages. So what then? Those times we need to express parts of ourselves, whether they're positive or not, whether it's joy or rage, or gratitude or fear or wonder or loneliness, those immense feelings, what then? When the words on the page don't fit the shape of our heart or our soul, are we simply to be silent? Has Judaism nothing to say? It might surprise you to learn that there are very few prayers in the Torah, very few. We've incorporated a lot of Torah into our prayers. There's whole passages we've taken from there and dumped into the Siddur and the Machzor. There's prayers like the Shema. That's in the Torah too. But our most ancient text is fairly, and perhaps strangely, devoid of prayer. But it's not too strange if you think about it. After all, in ancient Jewish society, as in much ancient society, the way you interacted with God, you showed gratitude, you begged for forgiveness, was through animal sacrifice. So you don't need too many prayerful words. But it makes it all the more fascinating when someone does pray in the Torah, the very few times it happens. And one of those very rare times happens this week when we read in the Torah. And it's all because of Miriam. Miriam is one of our 7 prophetesses. We have a lot of prophets in Judaism. Miriam, a prophetess. She's Moses' sister, you know, the one who followed him on the riverbank and, in the basket and singing and dancing as they went to freedom. And she's the reason there was water in the desert. We love Miriam. She's a star. She's great. But she is only human. And this week we read how she gets a little fed up with Moses. He gets all the attention. Everyone loves Moses. Moses, Moses, Moses. So she slanders his wife. And she expresses outrage that Moses gets all the attention. And what about her and Aaron? God, obviously, hears about this and is not pleased. Calls the two of them into the tent of meeting, yells at them, and then he named Miriam Mitzara'at Kashelik. Behold, Miriam was struck with leprosy or some other terrible skin disease. Either way, a horrible, a painful, a disfiguring affliction. And upon seeing this happen to his sister, Vayitzak Moshe el Adonai lemor, Moses cried out to God, El na, please God, Refa na la, please heal her. What he says is not very long. It's not very complex. Moses fears for his sister's life. He wants more than anything that she be healed. And he doesn't offer a sacrifice or use any of those usual modes of spiritual engagement of his time. These words just bubble up in him and tumble out, and he lets them, and that's the key. El na refana la, please, God, please, please heal her. Those spontaneous words, born not of forethought or taken from tradition. They're the feelings of a person watching the suffering of a loved one and wanting and wishing and hoping and praying to end their suffering. That is prayer, known as kavanah, one of our 2 kinds of Jewish prayer. Sometimes we need the words in the book. They're great words. They are time-tested. They are well-known. The words in the book allow us all to pray together, and that is a very powerful thing, to join your voice with others, now and very long past. Those prayers are known as keva, meaning they're fixed. We say them every day or every week. They don't change, not too much. The Shema is the Shema is the Shema, whether they said it 2,000 years ago, right now, or 1,000 years in the future. That thing is consistent, and that's good. But sometimes we have an experience that needs expressing, an experience that is so great, so momentous, so joyful, or one that drags us down to our darkest place, our lowest low. And in those times in our lives, none of the words we think we know can come close to capturing what we've seen, what we've been through. That's the time for kavanah. Those are the times Moses teaches in the Torah that we need to simply open up and let the words pour out. El narafana la, please, God, please heal her. With that patient who said, pray for me, Rabbi. And I stood there thinking, but I don't know any words. That was not the time to read words out of a book. That was the time to give voice to that man's trepidation and his frustration and his hopes and his wishes. I got all caught up thinking, well, what's the proper way to pray this? What am I supposed to say? Ignoring the fact that my job was not keva but kavanah, not to say some prefab words, but rather to give vent to this man and his needs and his wishes and his feelings. I think a lot of us, and it's fair, a lot of us think that prayer is only what happens in this room. The words in the pages on the books on your laps right now. And that is prayer. It is, and I love it, and I will always love it. And prayer is so much more even than that. And you already know this is true because you've done it. Prayer is the wishes you whisper into your baby's ear when they're placed on your chest for the very first time. It's that whirling whoosh of feelings when you feel your heart hiccup when you see their face under the chuppah next to you. Prayer is the words that your whole being screams when the doctor gives you the diagnosis, or when you decide to stop treatment, or as the casket is being lowered. That's prayer too. It is just as sacred as anything in a prayer book. We just need to give it an honored a place, make time for it in our lives as well. It took me some practice that summer that I interned as a hospital chaplain to learn to pray spontaneously. It did not come natural to me. And it's not that I threw away all the traditional words, they went out the window. I will always be a traditionalist at heart, and I don't feel bad about that fact. But I had to open myself up to more ways of spiritually connecting, and specifically giving voice to what people needed to express, which meant sometimes I sat down next to the bed of somebody, listened to them talk. And instead of saying words you could find in any book, I would say, "Dear God, please be with John as he goes into surgery for his heart. Let him be strong in the face of his fear and anxiety. Let him come to a place of wholeness and healing. Let his wife and children feel your love as they wait together for him, supporting each other. Guide his doctors and nurses to act wisely to bring John to a place of physical recovery and health. Give him the blessings you give all your children." And let's both say amen. And in practicing so much this with others, it became easier to do it for myself as well, to let whatever was coming up in me, joy or contentment or gratitude, or fear, anxiety, and anger too, to listen to those feelings and to honor them and give them space. And not stick so rigidly to what prayer is, what it must be. Some of my most prayerful, spiritually connected, and meaningful moments have not happened while reading the words in the Siddur, but when I've opened up my heart and let what's inside out. A fervently whispered prayer of thanks, a plea for help, sometimes even a silent scream into the void. In Judaism, we are blessed that there is no one right way to pray. The words on the page, the words in our heart, the keva and the kavanah are equally holy. So make sure you leave some room in your life for both. Shabbat shalom.
Thank you for those words. We'll now continue in our prayer book with Aleinu on page 56. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabel adonako, l'adeu l'alutzer breshit, shelo asanu k'rei haratzon, v'rov samanu k'shehot ha'adama, shelo samanu kahem, negor aleinu, k'dehol ha'ona. אנחנו הורים ומשמענים ומודים לפני מלך מלכנו המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שאורות השמיים ויוצא הארץ משק מעל השמיים ממעל ושרים נתוזו ושרים נתוזו Cut ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. We now invite again those who are mourning and those observing a yard site to recite the Mourner's Kaddish, which is found on page 58. And tonight, Beth Shern extends its condolences to the family of Francis Fran Spector, who was taken from us this past week. The Mourner's Kaddish, page 58. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Mi'alma Divrach Yirutev Yamlich Malchutei, V'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'gala uv'zman kariv Yemru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mivarach Le'olam Le'almei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei d'kudsha berechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiron bi'alma v'yemru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yemru Amen. Osei Shalom bimramav hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yemru Amen. This is our custom to give special blessings to people who are celebrating anniversaries. This evening we have quite a few anniversaries, 7 anniversaries, 3 of them from one family. So first celebrating 30 years, Wendy and Danny Gold. So Wendy and Danny, your youngest daughter Stephanie graduated from the University of Texas in Austin and is continuing on to get her master's in social work from UT. Your middle son Scott just got back from a fabulous trip to Israel, making it his 3rd trip there. And your oldest son Jeffrey is still living the dream, working and playing in New York City. And you just returned from a fabulous trip to the south of France and Denmark. The views were stunning, the food was delicious, and the company was great. What a way to celebrate. Mazel tov on 30 years. Celebrating 33 years, Mindy and Miles Wertheimer. Mindy and Miles is celebrating your 33rd wedding anniversary along with your 3rd year anniversary of working together remotely in the same house. That is a post-COVID event, I think, or a COVID event. Thank goodness for 4 bedrooms. Over the past year, you have been blessed with good health that has allowed you to travel to many family life cycles with your children for events in San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Puerto Vallarta, and Cabo. Welcome back. And Mazel Tov on 33 years. Elisa and Lynn Circle celebrating 41 years. Yeah, here. Nope. You are blessed that you have a wonderful daughter and can manage anything that is thrown at you, which is pretty good. So now we have Cindy and Jeff Abrams celebrating 43 years. Cindy and Jeff have had a wonderful year and are blessed with good health for them and their family. They have 2 grandbabies last summer, 23 days apart. Sam, Gail and Corby's 2nd son, and Stella, Lauren and Kevin's daughter. We just had a ceremony for you the other day. Enjoy spending time with all of them, and Mo got to celebrate Holly and Matt's 2nd anniversary with friends and family. Mazel Tov on 43 years. And then Marcia and Arnold Abramson, celebrating 49. 49 years. In September, you welcomed also a new grandson, your 12th grandchild, Miles Abramson. He was born to your son, Michael, and his wife, Billy, in Los Angeles. You also traveled overseas for the first time since the pandemic, including a wonderful driving trip through Normandy, something Arnold has always wanted to do. I hope you had some wine while you were in France. And I wish you a mazel tov on 49 years. And then Debbie and David Schwartz, 51 years. You feel blessed to be here to celebrate your anniversary and are so looking forward to the upcoming bat mitzvah of your one and only granddaughter, Sadie Schwartz. We're looking forward to it also. Mazel tov. And finally, celebrating 66 years, Toby and Mort Joachim. 66 years. You look forward to your annual trip to Galveston with all your children and grandchildren, most of whom are here right now celebrating their anniversaries, and are grateful they are happy and healthy, and they're all here to celebrate Mort's 92nd birthday. Mazel tov. Mazel tov to all our couples. May you continue to be blessed with many more happy occasions in the future, and may we be here to celebrate with you as you celebrate at home. So we now have just a couple of announcements. Registration for religious school Sulam and Kehila High is still going on, so if you have to register your children for those things, please do so online. We're having a kids meal juice box challenge during the summer. Kids Meals delivers up to 7,500 healthy meals every day to kids experiencing food insecurity. Our goal, which we have exceeded for the last 2 years, is to provide 2,000 juice boxes to support their drive. You can participate by dropping off 100% juice boxes at our synagogue at the administrative office until the end of July. Remember, they must be 100% juice. And next week, we'll have a special Father's Day Shabbat, Friday night, so we hope you'll come and celebrate all the fathers in our congregation. We'll take the opportunity to thank all of our dads and offer them a special blessing. And we have one more announcement, and that is that it's Philip. It's his birthday this Sunday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Philip. Happy birthday to you. Thanks for leaving the microphone on.
Mazel tov. Okay. And now we'd like to invite our children to come up and help us with the kiddush. And everybody please rise as we say the blessing over the wine. And the children in the congregation, please come forward. Help our benot mitzvah. So we'll say a blessing first for the children. So we're going to say for the girls, Yisimech Elohim Kesara Rivka Rachel Leah. May God make you like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. For the boys, we say Yisimcha Elohim Kephraim v'Chemenashe. May God make you like Ephraim and Menashe. And for all of our children, we say Yivarechecha Adonai v'Yishmarecha Ya'er Adonai Panav Elecha v'Chuneka Yisa Adonai Panav Elecha v'Yasem Lecha Shalom. May God always bless you with peace and happiness now and always. And now, Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, v'rata
Shabbat Kodsho, De'ahava Ratzon Hilanu, Zikaro Lema'aseh Bereshit, Kihu Yom Tehillah, let me cry at Kodesh, Seher Letziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu Aharta, Ve'otanu Kishashta, Mikol Ha'amim, Shabbat Kodshecha, Be'ahava Uvratzon, Hinaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom.